I'm Shruti Sethia Chiroria. I'm a practicing counseling psychologist and part of the Atmadhruti family. Atmadhruti. Atmadhruti is an organization that creates spaces where individuals, especially students and young adults, can discover their authentic selves, navigate life challenges with resilience, and unlock their fullest potential. In line with the same vision, we are launching Unblocked, a podcast platform designed to bring forward voices, aspirations, fears, beliefs, struggles, and dreams of the younger generation. Today, theme is Tribes We Carry Forward. Who stays in your life? We have Akanksha here. Akanksha.
Hi, I'm Akanksha. I'm 17 years old. I'm in the 12th standard. And I work with Procam Foundation, which is the CSR initiative of Procam Logistics, where we organize a lot of welfare events and initiatives. Plus, I've also been part of the core committee team of my school fest. I was an organizing committee and I was the marketing head. And I'm involved in a lot of debates, public speaking, MUNs, so I like speaking.
So we have a public speaker today. Damn nice, Akanksha. I'm really inspired by seeing young women like you who are, part of the welfare committees, because it's very important to have a social sense of responsibility and being actively doing something towards it, especially the younger generation, right? Okay. Having said that, today our theme is, as you know, the tribes that you're going to carry forward. So as you're stepping in the stage where you will leave school in a year or so and, step into a different world altogether, there are a lot of dynamics in terms of relationship that are being built for you right now. So we're going to explore that. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions around that area. Having said that, tell me something, you must have some friends right now. And we all have some people in our circle who we know that we can count on them even when we are old. So let's say you're 35. Who are some of the friends that you're going to, still have?
So I think I've been very lucky at making friends. In high school, I think it's very hard to navigate friendships and relationships and figuring out who your real friends are. But I think I've been quite lucky. I've made quite a few friends that I know I can call up later on and they'll be there for me.
Okay, I think that's wonderful. And I think it's a beautiful feeling to have also, right? To have such friends who you can back up on. Okay. Tell me something that, school always teaches us something about relationship, because that's one of the most important social institution that we are a part of, right? So what is it about relationships that school has taught you and, that's going to stay with you?
So at school, I think we all are very different people. I'm friends with, people who are polar opposite of who I am as a person. And I think probably maybe just accepting the way they are, even when I don't agree with them, just accepting them, just, maybe not agreeing with them, but just accepting them and not, making them feel like they need to change themselves to be around you.
Okay.
So I think that's it.
I think very important thing that you mentioned about relationships that you have learned from school is acceptance. Because there's a diverse population that you have to sit with, be with, work with as well. Right. What do you think love and, respect means to you?
Okay. So I think love and respect, they come hand in hand. I think if you don't respect someone, I don't think you can love them. So you respect them, you love them, and, understanding someone, accepting them. I think acceptance is a major part of my school life, accepting people the way they are. So I would relate that to love and respect as well.
I think that's a wonderful way to look at it. Very beautiful perspective. Okay. Akanksha, tell me something. We all want to leave a legacy behind us, when we are leaving or saying goodbye to something. How would you want to be remembered by people that you met casually in the hallway in your school?
So I would want them to remember me as someone who made them feel very included. I'll give you an example. Actually, the way I met one of my best friends was by including her in a conversation during lunch break. I remember one day I was with a group of some other friends, and she had just joined our school and she was alone and she was having lunch. So I went by her, I sat beside her and we spoke. And I think we had spoken for 20-30 minutes straight. And we're friends till now. And she's probably one of the people who will call me when I'm 35.
Oh, wow.
So
I think you mentioned how inclusion is so important, right?
yeah.
Sometimes that gives you a very long-lasting friendships that will have impact on your life for a very long time. Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. Having said that, family is also a very important social unit of our life, right? Tell me something that, that your family had a view about you, but that has progressed or evolved in the last 4 years.
I mean, the last 4 years, I was probably like 12, 13. So they wouldn't trust me as much as, trusting me enough to, take my own decisions sometimes, which is quite fair because at 11 and 12, you're not really very capable of taking your own decisions. But now that I'm 17, I think they trust me even more. I think I'm also a humanities student, which is quite uncommon in my family. No one has ever taken humanities. In fact, it is quite laughed upon. But I love the subject, so I took it, and they supported me with the decision. They were quite enthusiastic and they didn't doubt me.
So now they trust you more with your decisions, as in when you're growing old. That has evolved for them. Do you think there is something to do with earning that trust for you?
Yes. I mean, the way I have acted from the ages 13 to 17, they give you partial freedom to take decisions, and maybe that tests you upon how well you do. So I think
and that has led to building that trust that they can finally decide or trust you with the decisions you make for your life. Okay, tell me something. What could be one of those, unspoken grudges or unspoken tension that has happened in school with you, and you're going to leave that behind while you graduate?
I think school is full of tensions, grudges, and, petty fights over even minutest and like smallest things. So my school life was full of them, and I won't lie, I've been part of quite a few as well. But one that I can remember that I recently sorted out with a friend was, I remember a few years ago, we got into a misunderstanding because I thought she was not defending me in a room where I wasn't present. But now that we spoke about it, I realized that it was not a situation where she had to defend me. And we spoke about it, and now we're okay because we don't want to leave school with unspoken grudges or tensions. In fact, not with her, with everyone, because I want to meet them later on, because this is the last time we'll be like this.
Yeah, I think I'm having actually a little goosebumps because now when I think back about school, I think even I feel the same way. I could have at least sat and have had those conversations before I left. So that I leave something like, baggage down back the school and leave with a better space. Anyway, moving forward, something very interesting you told me in the first few questions was that you're very blessed to have good set of friends. And you're also somebody who is a very active person in terms of a lot of initiatives, welfare schemes at school, right? Now, this is a very interesting question. Are you someone who would be afraid to, lose friends that you currently have? Or do you think, or you're more scared about the effort of starting everything from scratch? Because you're a part of a lot of committees, so just assume that.
So, I think I love making friends. So building community could never be a problem for me. And so I recently went to Singapore as a part of, I went to NUS for a summer program there, where I was with a lot of people from different countries. I was in a group of 80 people, all from probably different countries, from different communities. And, just talking to them, getting to know them, their perspectives, the way they see things, it was so interesting. And, talking to them about my culture, my traditions, and just discovering how different we are, yet how united we are in some things as well. It was really fun. So community building has never been a problem. And as I said, I have quite a few friends that I absolutely love. I wouldn't want to lose any friends of mine.
So which is more scarier?
I think
Putting that effort or losing your friends?
losing friends, because that effort is just fun for me. I love making friends.
So Kancha, tell me something. If you had a choice to write an anonymous note of gratitude to someone and leave it in their locker right now, right? Who would that person be and what would that note be about?
So it would be my brother. We were actually in the same school, so I always had the comfort of knowing that, okay, he's in the same school. I can go to him for anything, for tiffin, for water, for anything, or to just get out of punishment or whatever, because he was in the school council at that time. So I had that comfort. But now he is not in the school anymore. He's doing his undergrads. He's in a different country. He's in America. So we rarely talk since the time difference is way too much, and we never get to, I never get to tell him how grateful I am to him, because he is genuinely the first person I text when something good happens, bad happens, unexpected, whatever. I think I tell him, I take his advice. I think more than my parents, I value what he says and I take that advice more seriously, because I think he gets me more than probably anyone else. So I think probably him.
I think a sibling comforting you is a very bliss kind of
Yeah, but I
thing.
would not want to, say he's not annoying. He is very annoying. But at the same time, he is nice.
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's what I said. No? A sibling being a bliss is a very nice thing.
Yeah.
Okay, now comes my favorite part. It's gonna be rapid fire. So I'm gonna ask you questions a little faster.
Okay.
And you'll have to give me like a one-word answer for all of them. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
Done.
So tell me, what a real friendship would be for you.
Making me feel safe to open up.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Would you prefer texting or would you prefer calling or would you prefer sitting by yourself in silence, in dead silence?
Sitting by ourselves, I think that's what we do usually all the time.
Tell me, a fictional duo that you have seen on camera that would represent yours.
So I'm a big Friends fan, and probably my favorite duo from the show is Chandler and Joey. So maybe them.
Tell me a trait that you would least tolerate in someone.
When they're not honest and when they disrespect me or anyone else, like just disrespectful people in general.
Do you think it's better to have 2 best friends or 20 close acquaintances?
2 best friends anytime.
That brings me to my favorite question. What's the most underrated quality in a human being?
I think I have 2. I think one, being a good listener. And second is a bit weird, which is being a little selfish, because I've seen people not putting themselves first. And I think it is important for you to be a little bit selfish and think about yourself as well with other people. So selfish to a certain extent.
So Kancha, tell me something. If you could apologize to somebody right now, okay, from someone from your past, who would that person be? And yeah.
So I've moved from Delhi to Kolkata. So I'm essentially from Delhi. And I was there when I was I moved to Kolkata when I was around 8-9 years old. So I had quite a lot of friends in Delhi, but one, my best friend, my school best friend, and she also lived in the same apartment as me, same society as me. When I moved to Kolkata, I spoke to her maybe for a week or 2, but then I think the effort from my side had stopped. I think she would make efforts, but then I started meeting new people, and because I had to fit in with this new group of people, I stopped interacting with her so much, and then eventually we lost touch, and I have no idea where she is right now. So maybe to her.
What's a non-negotiable rule in a friendship for you?
I would say trust.
Trust.
Yeah.
That's a non-negotiable rule in a friendship.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. So rapid fire ends here. It was lovely speaking to you, and I'm really inspired to see young women like you who are doing so much out there in the world as part of social responsibility also. Kudos to you.
Thank you.